Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the supplement episode 8. My name is Mandela, and it's my pleasure to be here with you live and direct on YouTube. I'm based in Bermuda, so is PJ, and Andrew is all the way over in Wales, and we're here to answer any questions that you may or may not have, any feedback that you want to give, any comments. If there's a ticker that you want to look at, or if there's something that we say that doesn't make sense, we're live. So the benefit of us being live is we can respond to you on the spot. We can even post your comments live on air. So the first thing we're going to look at is inflation. What does inflation mean to you and I? What does it mean for the markets? It doesn't necessarily mean that prices are going up. It could mean that the sizes of items or the amount of items in your cereal box are going down. Also having a look at Twitter and what Elon Musk is trying to accomplish there. We have a little bit of a section on crypto. I know there's a lot of crypto heads out there, so we want to make sure that we're covering what's the latest and greatest in crypto as well. Head and shoulders means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. For those of you who are chartists or technical analysts, you do know that head and shoulders means a lot more than just shampoo, if you know what I'm saying. We also have our first annual Bit Games. This is incredible. We have over 100 people who are participating. You get 100K and you can trade it however you like. I'm going to try and get the current first place trader on the phone during the show. We're going to see if we can get lucky today. But this is an exciting game, and we'll give some more information about that a little bit later. Also, just want to say thanks to everybody who is participating in our first annual Bit Games. And then we're going to be giving away some prizes. So usually we'll give away one hat. Today, I'm feeling generous. Let's give away 2 hats. So all you got to do to get entered into that competition is to type hashtag SFX into the live chat window. Your name will be entered into a draw. We'll give a free hat away towards the beginning of the show, and then we'll give another free hat away towards the end of the show. So just simply type hashtag SFX into the live chat window to be added to that. That's being sponsored by J4K, also known as Just for Kicks. I went over to the house of the owner, Jonathan Eve, yesterday. Amazing guy, phenomenal company, great quality of service. If you want to reach out to them, it's 1441-704-0055. That's their WhatsApp. It'll be down in the description, and I'll also pop that in the live chat also. They've given me so many items over the past. I've gone through them for hats, for t-shirts, for bags, for tracksuits, for jumpers, and they're just a great company. So really appreciate Just for Kicks. Before we continue, I just want to remind everybody that nothing that is said is financial advice. Please remember to conduct your own analysis, and remember that you should seek your own financial advisor before investing. Just remember that you are responsible for your own investing decisions. Let's focus, let's listen from start to finish, and let's do this. I appreciate everybody kicking it with us on this Sunday morning. Let's have some fun. This is a show that I look forward to each and every month that we put it on. And I just wanted to say a special thank you to everybody who's watching live. We have Orchid Spa with the hashtag SFX up there, Terry K with the hashtag SFX, and then we also have David Agnew with the hashtag SFX. I'm live here, so feel free to pop anything in the chat. I'm waiting on PJ. I got a message from him saying that he had some technical difficulties. He's actually driving his car from his home into work. That's dedication right there. Andrew, not too sure if Andrew got his wires crossed on the timing, but we'll see. I'm going to try and carry the show as much as I can for as long as I can. So I spoke to Mr. Photogenic the other day, and we were talking a little bit about the show and what we're trying to accomplish here. And Mr. Photogenic sent me this. I want to say a special shout out to Mr. Photogenic. For anybody who is Bermudian, you know what it's about. Mr. Photogenic, let's tell the people what's really good.
Hey, cousin! This your boy, Mr. Photogenic, and you're locked into the best investing channel on YouTube, Signature FX. Big up yourself, my boy Mandela, and the whole Signature FX team. Like, subscribe, share. Coming in hot.
Shout outs to my boy. Photogenic came through, and he comes through in the clutch every single time. Check him out on all his social media, and I just love what he's doing for Bermuda, making people happy. And for him to do stuff like that for us, I really appreciate it. So kicking it off today, I think I'll start off with inflation. So usually what we do is each person has a little something to talk about. I was going to kick it off with inflation anyway. So let's do that. Let's see what we got. Yeah. So it's a little tricky doing all the controls and all of the talking and all of the hosting, but I'm going to give it my best shot. So the first thing that I wanted to cover with inflation was that it gives us some sort of a signpost. And a lot of people think of it as prices going up, which is invariably what it is. But it also means that people are not making as much money or unable to spend as much money as they were previously. But if we're gonna put it into context, and I like to kind of take a big step back. If you look back at where we were in the 1980s, 1970s, we were a lot higher in inflation. Inflation was above 10% at those points in time. So the last inflation reading that we got was 8.5%. That was the March inflation data point. And this was the fastest pace since 1981. It was due to the increase in gasoline prices, and I think it's tied to the Russia invasion of Ukraine that added to the increase. Also, the crushing of demand due to the pandemic and supply shortages. So on I think it was April 12th, we had the March inflation number, came out at 8.5, and investors just they were just concerned about what's happening in the world. And that's where I guess this ties into the whole inflation debate. One of the things that the Federal Reserve is going to try to do, and let's have a look at this. It shows you where inflation's been since August of 2021. I think the main thing to kind of focus on is once we get a bit of a peak in inflation and we see inflation starting to reverse or at least plateau and start to come back down, I think that's when we're going to start to see market stabilizing. And that's something that I'm keeping a very close eye on. So what happened in the US was once we had the inflation number, this would have been April 12th, I think it was, we saw the US, the NASDAQ, basically the Qs, which is the average US tech stocks. They didn't like the news. They didn't like that inflation was coming in hot, just like Mr. Photogenic says so eloquently. And we see movement down in all stocks, basically, all tech stocks. We can go into that a little bit later. But what is the Fed doing to kind of combat that? Looks like we have PJ just popping in. PJ, how you doing, man?
All is well, man. All is well. Had a little emergency this morning, but all is well.
Yeah,
How you making out?
figured. I'm trying to hold the show as best as I can. It's great to have you on, man. It's really great to have you on.
Yeah, anytime, man. I look forward to these, shows and stuff, and I just had to, do a plan B. So
Yeah, that's it. And I haven't heard from Andrew. I hope he's okay. I have a feeling it had something to do with the time change.
Yeah, most likely.
Time differences. But it is good to have you on. I just wanted to let people know that PJ had some technical difficulties earlier today, but it's great to see you, P.
Yeah.
So I was just going through the inflation bit real quick, and then I guess we can move on to some other crypto information.
Okay.
So reminder for people to post hashtag SFX into the live chat, and you'll be entered into a draw for a live hat, for a swag hat. Terry K says welcome. Hey PJ. I thought Andrew's on as well. Oh my gosh, we got Andrew on. Oh man, I hoped you weren't kidnapped, man.
Nah, bro. Guys, just I don't know. Sorry. Just totally lost track of the time. Just playing a bit of Mario Kart, and I thought it was about like 1:30 for some reason, and I just seen your missed calls and looked at the time, and it was like, oh dear. So how we doing, guys? How's things?
Yeah, we're good. Everything's great. I thought it was like an April Fool's prank or something.
No, it just literally just lost track of the time. So sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
that's fine. That happens all the time. So I was just quickly going through the inflation stuff for everybody, and then I guess we can just pick it up from there. So inflation, I guess, has been an issue for some time now, and I just wanted to tie it into the markets and what I think what's going to be happening in the next few months. In my opinion, I think risk assets are going to continue to move down. And people are going to be moving their money out of risky assets like stocks, like crypto, even until inflation kind of peaks. And once we see inflation kind of coming back down, because if you have a choice between, feeding your family, buying groceries, or buying stocks, or even Netflix is a good example, I think people are going to start cutting back on those extras, on those things that are nice to haves.
Yes, the groceries got to go. Stocks is a must.
Yeah, it depends where priorities are for sure. But I do think that it's tied into the markets. I think people are going to be a little bit less risky as long as inflation is increasing.
Yeah, for sure. So sorry, guys, just really caught me on the hop. So I'm just putting the camera right and everything. But so what did I miss? So we've just started with inflation, yeah? So
yeah, we just started with inflation. Literally a minute ago, PJ had to run into town, I think, and he's got a secondary studio that he's at. So inflation is talked about. I think we can give away a hat, actually. Let's give away a hat now.
Yeah,
just
good
to
chat,
break
guys.
it up a bit. Yeah, let's do that. The chat's looking good. So I'm going to give away a hat to the first person that, the first few people that have decided to join in live. So here we go. This is for a Signature FX hat. All right. And all the best of luck to everybody. We got quite a few chat.
Yeah, it's nice good turnout, guys, today.
Yeah, it is.
Nice to see some of the regulars. So hi Terry. See Terry's in the chat. Oh,
Epic Island Bros. There we go. Hey. Epic Island Bros. Congratulations. Very well done.
Well done.
Yeah, phenomenal. So Epic Island Bros, if you can just send us a message so that we can have your contact information, and then we can we'll get you that Signature FX hat. We are live and we are direct, so feel free to post anything in the chat windows. If you have any tickers you want us to look at, or any feedback, that's why we're live for all of you out there. Okay, so I just wanted to finish up the inflation bit, and then we can move on, I think, to the next section. So inflation is kind of like where we're looking at in terms of what's going on in the world. I think as soon as we see, the Federal Reserve start to sell some of their assets and kind of reduce their balance sheet, that's when I think inflation will start to get a bit under control. And the other bit is interest rates. So I think the Federal Reserve is planning to increase interest rates towards the end of the year by another 2.5% overall. And it's probably going to be around 0.5% per meeting. So you can see back in sort of 2019, interest rates, the Fed funds rate was above 2%. If you look back into 2007, it was above 5%. So it's not uncommon for the interest rate to be high. I guess it's just a matter of how are we going to get there. And I think the Federal Reserve is also worried about putting too much pressure and causing a recession. So
after these inflation rates rise, Bubs, what would you say is normally the outcome of it, and how could traders prepare for inflation rates rising?
That's a good question. So I just pulled up the inflation chart. So inflation has been a lot higher. We had inflation above 14% in the 80s. So this is not completely foreign, but I think what usually does well are things like utilities, which is what things like people cannot avoid. I would even throw in there like the necessities like food and oil, things like that people can't really you can't really cut out of your lives to survive. The daily essentials I think will do well, where people are looking at, I would even say like Dollar Depot, your Walmarts, maybe people going to look to just focus on their budget more. wholesale shops for sure. I think those are definitely going to do well. And it's a lot of things going on. I mean, I can't predict the future exactly, but I do think when you realize that your bills are considerably higher than they were a few months ago, the average person is going to kind of reassess and look to see where they can cut. Yeah. And that's where I'm looking to avoid investing in. And the places where people cannot cut are places where I would look to invest in.
How about trying to get every bang for your buck? Do you know of any companies that fit into those categories that also do well with dividends? Because I think that might be a nice play as well, where you're looking at companies that pay, I don't know, 1%, 2% quarterly or something like that.
Sorry, my son's just popped in here. Great show today, guys.
Guys,
I'm gonna just pop off for 1 minute, guys. I'll be right
worries,
back.
Guys.
All right.
Just picking up on the inflation. So I'll speak for myself from the UK. So we're hovering just over the 6% mark ourselves, which is pretty frightening to where we've been, especially before Christmas. I think the general consensus was about a 3% pay rise, for most organisations within the UK, and obviously through knowing Mandela, when I was offered 3%, we turned it down flat because ultimately it's a pay cut. So what's the inflation in Bermuda, and how do employees then subsidize that?
I don't have those figures on me just yet. I'm not sure if Fub does.
Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have it in front of me either.
But I think generally it hovers around 3 to 4%. Fub. I think that's kind of like where we hover at. But I'm not sure.
I mean, I do think that it's also worth mentioning that it does depend what they're putting in the calculation. Because for certain people, let's say high net worth people, they're spending on certain things versus somebody who is not so high net worth. So I think it also depends what are you putting in that basket and comparing. So there's various metrics.
Yes, just examples for us. I'd say we're well over 6%, maybe touching 7%. But just for myself personally, we've seen a 50% increase in energy bills. And also 30% within the grocery shopping every week or every month. So the UK, it's really getting hammered at the moment. And
sorry, did you say
30% on top of the groceries?
Wow, that's pretty. And to think that it's not finished yet. You know what I mean?
It just started. So
yeah.
Jeez, man. And I think for a lot of employees, especially just the other day when compensation periods had come around, I think a lot of people were really focused on bonuses and how, and started to think about what's going to happen in the upcoming years. If I'm getting a 2% raise every year, and inflation's going up 4%, then you're almost getting
it's a
pay
2%
cut, right?
cut. Yeah, it's a 2% pay cut for sure. Any standard of living. So we've seen it in the UK, and it's pretty tough at the moment. Obviously, this has been coming for a while. People are trying to put the blame on Putin and Russia, but ultimately it goes a lot deeper than that. And I think Brexit hasn't helped the UK either. So lots of things happening here, and I believe there's going to be another hike in energy around October, potentially another 50%. So interesting times. Be worth us picking this back up, I think, in a couple of months and seeing where we're at.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to just finish this up and just let people know that the correlation between the inflation and like the US 100 or the NASDAQ has been very, very clear. Once the inflation number came out in April at 8.5%, stocks just basically said they didn't like that. And they've moved down considerably since then. So I do think that until inflation gets under control, I do think we do have some more downside in stocks. And I'm not trying to be doom and gloom here. I'm trying to be realistic. And sometimes you're in a bull market, sometimes you're in a bear market. I think the last 2 years, a lot of people were buying the dips.
Yeah.
and now you got to flip it on its head and you got to short the rips. I think shorting the
Exactly,
rips is playing playing well right now.
It's for sure. Both markets are profitable. You just need to know when to sell. So
Yeah.
I keep going on about it myself with Bitcoin. So I'm short on Bitcoin, and people are asking why am I selling Bitcoin? And the best explanation I give, I'm not really selling my Bitcoin. I'm just buying US dollars with my Bitcoin at the moment, and I'll be looking to convert them back in the future.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I think it's smart. I think it's smart in the short term, and we always talk about this every single show. It's a difference between trading and investing.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of be realistic about, what are your goals and what is your exit strategy? What are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
Because if in the next 2 months, Bitcoin's down another 10%, which is possible, it could be up 10%. Where do you want to be? What's the best position for you if Bitcoin does go down or crypto does go down another 10%?
Yeah.
Sure. And a lot of people don't. I don't think a lot of people consider that as much. But I think that's why we have this show.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna lead. Obviously, because it's late, I don't mind going last, guys. I don't know if PJ wants to go into crypto next, and then we can have a little talk about Bitcoin. Yeah, is that okay, PJ?
Yeah.
Or not. Put you on the spot.
So I just no. To be fair, I literally just came on like 2 seconds before you, Andrew. But it's all right. Well, Mike could speak.
I can go next. I can go next if you guys want.
Yeah.
Oh, you want a minute to just settle in?
Yeah. Go on, guys.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll go in. So.
Okay.
My favorite guy, Elon Musk, he's out again, making all the right or wrong headlines depending where you sit. And he made an offer to buy Twitter, and it's just been incredible. So I'm actually on Twitter. Don't take it too serious. I find some of the users a little bit dramatic, and I do see a little bit too much of things like cancel culture, a little bit of bullying on Twitter, which I don't really like. But so Musk's gone in for it, and he's offered 40 million for Twitter. And just looking at his net worth of 273 billion, and 40 billion he's offered, it's a drop in the ocean for the guy. And it's interesting. So Twitter blew up. So when he made the offer, we had people. I'd say people from the left were threatening to leave Twitter, and they're quite concerned that someone like Elon, might give access to maybe some of the wrong people from the right. Big question, guys, about the freedom of speech. But for myself, we can't live in a fair democracy without freedom of speech. But we do have to draw a line with freedom of speech that when it becomes hate speech, it has to stop. So it's really interesting, and I think he's waiting on the board now to make a decision on his offer, what he's going to do. But guys, what do you think? And what do you think his reasons are for buying? And I'd like to open this up to the chat as well. What do you think? Is this good for Twitter? Bad for Twitter with Elon buying it?
Well, I could speak on that. I really admire somebody that is brave enough to go against, I guess, an establishment that may or may not have, or may have a lot of issues with how to say it. Let's just go through his history. He was somebody that wanted to disrupt the payment sector. So he created PayPal with his other co-founders or whatever. And he was demonized in the media from jump. He's also disrupted the electric car manufacturing company by having electric vehicles. He's now going to space. So it just seems like he's an habitual sort of a disruptor. And I think it's not necessarily when you hear disruption, you often associate it with a negative sort of connotation. And I feel like in this sense, his making things better. His providing almost like a service for humanity. So I'm all for it because it seems like from what I can see, his heart's in a good place. He reminds me a lot of Steve Jobs in that sense, where it's just a driver. He just wants to get things done. But yeah, I just think he ruffles a little feathers on his way.
Yes, for sure.
So, but his outcomes are you know what I mean. I'll judge him off of his outcomes, and so far he's doing a great job. He just changed the whole for Tesla's, especially, the electric car vehicle, um, is yeah, it's just amazing, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's good,
I,
really
I
good. So I'm
agree.
actually a good. I'm a fan of Tesla. I read like the cars, but yeah, with Twitter, it's just interesting. I'm just seeing a lot of people reacting. Like say, I call them the SJWs, and then we're seeing people from the right as well. And myself, someone who just sits in the middle. It's it's just interesting times. He's saying if he can't buy it, he's gonna start up his own platform. I'm just wondering what that platform's going to be, what it's going to look like. And I hope, like I say, I hope it's not going to sway too far, maybe to the right. I'm hoping it's going to be quite central and it's neutral for all. That's what I'm looking at for sure.
Was he somebody? Wasn't he involved with Signal, that WhatsApp alternative? Wasn't he? Wasn't it him who was involved or promoted Signal? Have you
Yeah,
guys heard?
I'm not
it could.
sure.
Yeah, it might have been actually. Yeah, it was like an alternative to WhatsApp. I think it was more
Yeah,
encrypted.
WhatsApp.
More encrypted, wasn't it? If I got the right one. I think
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was looking at that. Just
yeah,
picking up
yeah.
what Orchard Spa saying, how his pockets are deep enough to show his dominance. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
there we
could,
go.
could this be part ego as well? I'm sure 240 billion in your pocket. You're used to getting your own way and doing your own thing for sure. So yes,
Yeah. I
it's a
also
really
think
good one.
he does have a history of wanting to have fun. Like he's been on Saturday Night Live. I think he's definitely not shy, and he's looking to enjoy his life. I do think it is a bit of fun for him. It did come around the same time as Tesla earnings, so I thought that was interesting too. I don't know if that was a coincidence. I have the Tesla chart here, and we can talk about the side bet later.
Yes,
But
please.
maybe he wanted to kind of tie it in with some good Tesla. I mean, there's no such thing as bad publicity, I guess, with him buying Twitter.
Yeah.
And I think he's a phenomenal person in general.
So I don't really understand like how it works maybe over in the States or where Twitter's planted. But if his offer is substantial and profitable, are they obliged to sell Twitter to him? How does it work with the shareholders or people on the board?
Yeah, so it would be a vote. So I'm not a U.S. Specialist, but as far as what I've read so far, the shareholders would go to vote and they would decide whether or not they would accept his offer. And what the board has done already is they've said if there is an offer made, then they're going to flood the market with extra shares to dilute any sort of takeover bid. To try and discourage him from doing it. And I think I can't remember the proportion. I think it maybe is a 2/3 majority. And if the shareholders want it, then they'll, obviously it will go to Elon.
Right. It's really interesting, and it's gonna be interesting to see which way Twitter goes if he does buy it. So I'm following this story quite closely, and maybe we'll pick back up on it in a couple of weeks, and we'll see where it's at.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Wasn't there someone else that offered, had made an offer on Twitter as well? Was BlackRock involved with that as well? Did you guys see any articles on that?
I did. So I did see. So I saw that BlackRock had bought a fraction. So as far as I remember, Elon owns 9% of Twitter. He went into the open market, bought 9%, and then I think BlackRock went in and bought 10% or 12%. I don't think that they are planning to do like a complete takeover, like a hostile takeover like Elon Musk is. Right. But I think they wanted to show that they're interested as well in Twitter. I think that was a good call out, P, as well. I mean, do you guys use Twitter a lot? Do you think it's a game changer, or do you think it may be just a sideshow?
A bit of a sideshow for me. I used to like Twitter, but once cancel culture started, like sort of fell in love with it. I don't like that behavior. I think everyone's entitled to their opinion. I think within reason. Like I said, if I haven't got freedom of speech, we don't live in a democracy, do we? So but when your freedom of speech becomes hate speech, I think that's different. But I don't really like what they done to Joe Rogan. I thought he was very well edited. I thought he was put together. And I didn't appreciate that, and I think there's a couple of other people on there as well that cancel culture tried to get hold of, and that's what Twitter seems to be. I think the platform could be quite bullying, and I think people are being tried for tweets they sent maybe 10, 12 years ago. But I can tell you now, I'm a totally different person, through experience, life lessons, friends, family, culture. I'm a totally different person to what I was 10 years ago. And, for us to hang people out to dry on something, they said in jest, 10, 12 years ago, I just think it's wrong. And that's the side of Twitter I don't like.
Yeah, no, I
But
agree.
we have to also remember how influential the platform has been for like presidential campaigns. It's a direct method for someone to express their views, and a lot of leaders are in Premier. He uses it frequently. He's a techie guy, but I'm not sure. I don't personally, I didn't really gravitate to it. I look at it now and then when I want to find information from certain people, but there are other platforms that I am more comfortable, using. Maybe it's just time, get more comfortable using it, but
Yeah.
got a lot of younger people really using it.
Yeah. Well, talking about, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
I was just going to say.
Great show, guys. Great show.
Live.
No, for myself, I find it great for trading news. So obviously I've got my followers set up predominantly Forex traders or crypto traders. It's ideal for that. So rather than me, scrolling through the BBC or Sky News, really, I just log on to Twitter and I got my top stories there. But I will say the last couple of months, I probably started following, some more influencers than I normally would. And then I've seen an ugly side to Twitter that I just don't like.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, talking about posts, I think we could just quickly look at some of the posts that we had from the live chat, and thanks to everybody who's watching live. I think this is Andrew Rain, I believe. So shout out to Andrew Rain. Yeah. And then we got a couple other shout outs here. Roger Bowen saying dub plates earlier. Everybody was happy when PJ came on, and then we had the whole gang here after Mario Kart. After you finished your Mario Kart lap.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. But I think we've ended up with a pretty lit show, and it's I think it's rolling really well. I think we can go on to the next section. There was one other comment here just from Orchid Spa. I think this is Janika. Thanks, Janika, for your lovely posts. And she's saying also the data part, I guess, the access to the data, which I don't usually think about on a day-to-day basis, but I think that could help with marketing, and there's a lot of value in that.
Yes, it's a really good point. It's a really good comment, and yeah, for sure. I can imagine if he takes over Twitter, we'll be seeing lots of adverts for Tesla, SpaceX, and flamethrowers. He's selling.
I know a lot of people are concerned, because Mark Zuckerberg, he got in trouble for Facebook and data leaks and stuff like that, where they were pretty much gathering people's data and using it to their advantage without the customers or participants knowing. So, I think hearing in the news sometimes you hear them talk about, a perspective, and sometimes the people that are complaining about it are the people responsible for doing the same thing. So you need to just, take a high level view and just observe everything, because I gotta, today was one of those days, but next time you guys talk about it, I'll see if I can find that clip where I had the news reporter asking or commenting on Elon Musk, and she was pretty much running him down. But the media, establishment that she represents just as guilty or even more guilty of doing the same thing she was running him down for. So again, just to step back and observe, people's movements, right?
Just to go back to Orchard Spa saying Mark's been accused of swaying the election with Facebook. So I actually didn't want to get into the politics and maybe political views in the US, but I do believe in fairness and equality. And I think banning one candidate from social media, a complete ban, I think that's unfair. I know, and certainly not a Trump fan. I don't appreciate some of the things he's done in the US. But if you're gonna make it fair and transparent, there should be no political opinions on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram. If you're gonna ban one, you should ban them all. So I agree with that for sure. I think if you're easily persuaded by social media, which a lot of people are, if you just see vote Biden, it's going to get in there, it's going to sink in for sure. So I agree with that definitely.
Traditional forms of media are guilty of that as well, right? You got CNN that represents one particular political party and their views, and it seems like it's heavily biased. And you got Fox that's the other. So it depends on what cup of tea you like to drink. You know what I mean? And it seems like you know yeah, again, you just have to kind of like not pick a side. And that's my problem with a lot of these outlets. It seems like the biasness is so strong, where it's almost forcing you to pick a team. You know what I mean? And everybody wants to be on this side or that side. But
for sure. That's what I found on social media. You can't seem to have a different opinion without people wanting to cancel you, or you're either with us or against us. And sometimes it's like, not against you, just don't agree with you on topic A, but topic B and C, I might be fully with you guys. But yeah, so I'm finding that, and also seems to be trialed by social media as well. So I'm probably going off on a tangent now. I'm just picking up on the Johnny Depp case and Amber Heard, and the guy got cancelled, didn't he, by Disney back in 2017 or whenever it was, without trial, and now it's actually gone to trial. This guy's been through some serious domestic abuse, and so yeah, trial by social media is not a good thing as well. So that's another reason. I'm not the biggest fan of Twitter either.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we're in a crazy world right now, and there's a lot of unprecedented things. We haven't touched, I think, half of the amount of things that are going on right now in the world. But I did want to quickly pivot to the games that we guys are hosting. I think there are a lot of people watching right now. So every month we do some sort of competition for our members or our WhatsApp groups. We call them community. And this month we're doing a trading competition. So just wanted to quickly go through a little bit about what that is. Well, we have everybody's attention. Basically, what we're trying to do is give everybody $100,000, and in virtual money, not in real money. Make sure people are not trying to get any ideas. But yeah, 100K, and then we ended up getting 100 people to participate. And we're calling it the BIT Games, Bermuda International Trading Games, proudly sponsored by our Signature FX. And the plan is to try and do this once every year. And we were able to speak to the number one participant. So the guy who's in first place is named Shane Cools. And we have a few words from Shane, who is in first place. If you want to hear what to do to get into first, listen clearly.
As we wrap up week 3 of the first annual Bermuda International Trading Games, it's been quite a lot of fun. So right now we've got 2 Shanes in the number 2 spot. But the last few weeks, my real back and forth has been with Curtis McClure. And I think about what is the most fun in this competition. And that is, I'm getting a lot of great trading ideas. Some of these I'm not acting on in the game, but I am taking on in my personal trading in the real world. I think about a lot of good names and good ideas, especially on the reopening trade with these hotel names. I saw a lot of people were looking at Marriott, Delta, some of the airlines. I'm personally really big into energy, but looking to kind of diversify a little bit. And this game has been a great way for me to kind of think about what else is out there. When I think about what I don't like about the game, I've turned into a little bit of a defensive trader, where I'm looking at what other people have versus myself, and not just thinking about my absolute return, but thinking about my in-game return relative to them. And so I'm not just always looking for the best trade for today or this week, but I'm looking for how can I defend my position, because I keep being in this number one, this vulnerable spot, and trying to protect it. So I think it's interesting. It's a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a great game, and I'm hopeful this is going to be not just the first, but first of many annual international games.
Guys, I just want to say 9.65%. That's an amazing return. So well done, Shane. It's really, really good. And guys, I can't see anyone catching him. I think he can down tools and enjoy. Take some time off, Shane. Just put your feet up, pina colada. That's brilliant. That's really, really good. And just one thing I want to say about the competition. So myself, I'm not involved. Mandela knows I'm not a big fan of competitions or even side bets. But guys, you two who've organised this, it's well done, guys, to you pair. I think it's hats off to the two of you. You've worked really hard, and to get 100 people in the competition, I just think it's amazing. I tell you one thing that nearly swayed me is when I seen the prizes. And yeah, guys, what first prize? What a prize! No, it's just brilliant. So well done, guys. It's really, really good. And Shane, you're in cruise control, mate. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, over 9%.
Yeah, he's doing really well. Yeah,
it's amazing. It's really, really good.
I wouldn't relax though, because me and Fub's coming for you.
Yeah, PJ and I are in it, and I've been trying some crazy strategies. I wish I could say that my goal was to be in last and then go from last to first, because that's how it's turned out. Right now, I think I'm like 30th, some in the mid 30s. But with 100 people, it just shows you that it's not easy to kind of make a profit, and it gives you a little bit of an opportunity to experiment, and only basically you have limited risk. I spoke to my sister. She's doing it. Her and her husband have their own side bet. So whoever wins gets the weekend off without the kids. So whoever's the highest, basically, out of the two of them. So it's bringing families together. And I think a lot of people have been given some positive feedback as well.
Just the last thing from me on that is, guys, when I see the prize money, so it's you guys being part of Signature FX. What's happening, guys? Is there a donation going to your favorite charity in Bermuda, or are you splitting it? Or what's the plan, guys? What's the rules? Not to put you on the spot.
So my honest plan was, if I were to win and if I was to get up to Shane's level, I was going to give the prize to the second place person, or roll it over until next year, so that next year's prize would be twice as large. Those were my two options.
Yeah, me and PJ go partying. Nice one, Mandela. We're off out
here. I'll give you a run of drinks. No, I just
yeah.
But yeah, no, this competition has been something that I see a lot of people, and and I follow each person's trades, and in the beginning, you had guys that were heavily rated in just crypto, and one of the things that I guess the game would teach them is that you have different cycles. There's a real emphasis on cycles. Last year you could have threw your money on anything and it seemed like it would have just gave you these ridiculous returns, stocks and crypto alike. But this year is a lot of volatility going on, a lot of uncertainty going on in the markets. It's very choppy, so you have to kind of pick your time frame, which you want to trade. And I think for me in the beginning, I took my eye off it, and trading risky, it was fake money, so you don't really put the same importance of stop losses and entry points and exit points and stuff like that. Or for some, because I've been doing it while I was, working and stuff, and I pull out the phone, check a few charts. Okay, cool, it's a great entry point. And then I'm, all distracted with work and whatever.
Yeah.
And I forget that, I may have either made the correct decision on the trade, and it went in my direction, but I overheld. So now I'm going into profit and then back into, debt type of thing, or a loss. So that's the type of things that, whoever's going to be continue to trade, keep a time frame in sight. Are you short term? Are you looking at a monthly chart? Are you looking at a weekly chart? Keep your time frames at the forefront of your trades.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think that's one of the things that I got from Shane's piece there. He is kind of focused on what the other competitors are doing too. So you have to kind of know, if everybody else is buying crypto, what will happen if crypto goes up. you know, that's also part of the analysis. But Shane has been doing well, and the only thing I can say about Shane is
Coming in hot.
yeah, great.
never
Do you guys want to
gonna
do? You want to go chatting about charts next? I think there's a few people that want to look at some charts.
Yeah,
we can pull up a couple charts if you guys are good with that.
Yeah, I don't mind. Do you want me to go first? I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, you go for it.
I wouldn't mind going through Bitcoin, and I just wouldn't mind going through some of the challenges that I've been working on the last month. So, guys, let me just share my screen.
Yep, go for it. Gotcha.
Okay. Okay. Let me. So hoping everyone can see that okay. So guys, yes, the chart I drew on Bitcoin, and I'm trading weekly timeframes lately. Reason being, definitely giving me more time to think, more time to maneuver. The only downside to trading weekly is sometimes I'm jumping in a trade too early, and then I'm getting stopped out, and then the trade's going in my direction. So just really is about a bit more patience. But what I'm looking at, guys, so we drew this trend line in, I think it's about a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. We broke the trend line. We opened below it. We then tested this resistance here and the line. You can see now Bitcoin is definitely in a downward cycle. So for myself, what I'm looking at is this 39,000 or 40,000. It's like life support for Bitcoin. It's really hanging on for dear life. And I think what's happening now is the market's very undecided. So we've got buyers and sellers, which just seem to be cancelling each other out at the moment. We seem to be seeing maybe a little push by maybe $1,000-$2,000, and then we're seeing it come back down. So for myself, I'm going to be looking at Bitcoin. It's you know, we're probably going to see this. You know, probably going to see 37. We'll see a correction, and then for myself, I'm definitely taking Bitcoin down to 35. I did think we were going to see it touch 53 a couple of weeks ago before continuing the downward trend, but for myself, I think Bitcoin and most cryptos are going down for the remainder of the year. So I wouldn't be surprised to see 35k, and I'm probably going to take that trade either tomorrow morning or a week Monday. I'm actually going to short Bitcoin, and I'll let you guys know where I'm at. So question really is to you two. You know, where do you see Bitcoin going? Are you bullish, bearish, or do you think we're just going to see a bit more consolidation in the market?
PJ, you want to go first? Or do you want me to take it? You're on mute, P. You're on mute.
Sorry, you could take it. I was just pulling up something.
Okay, yeah, I'll go for it. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up my Bitcoin. It's the exact same chart, but it's just got a little different lines in it. So I tend to agree, and this is worrying because when we agree, Andrew, I'm usually wrong at some point. So I'm trying not to agree with you. I don't think that we're going up from here.
Yeah.
And I do think that the trend has been down. We've seen a lot of selling in Bitcoin. It's just struggling to kind of stay anywhere above 40K. That's kind of the line in the sand for me. And I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of came back down. I think you had something similar to these lows in May 2021. Everybody knows this is not financial advice, and I'm not a fortune teller. But these lows, I think, are significant, and there's probably a lot of stop losses kind of down in this area. So that's why I'm kind of using that as a line in the sand. It's not easy to say because a lot of us hold crypto, a lot of us hold Bitcoin, and only want to see it go up. But if you're being realistic here, I would take the approach of I'm not going to get any more, but if it gets down to sort of 30K, I'll pick up a little bit more. I'll start nibbling at a little bit more around 30K. And if 30K can hold, maybe even like 29 or 28K, then I'm looking to try and buy some more. That's my approach.
So I totally agree. But just to go back to that, so I got crypto, we're holding it, but there's been so much money in crypto, since we started. There's been so much gains. if you haven't taken any money out of the market, that, you know, I'm sorry to say this, I think it's more fool you. You know, there's been plenty of opportunities to take some money off the table. I think that, that's what I'd be looking to do. And like I say, you know, for me, it's really about converting my Bitcoin to dollars. And then once I've got those dollars, it's about buying Bitcoin back at the right time. But for me, you know, I'm definitely bearish on Bitcoin. I have been, I think, since about 62k. But yeah, it's just it's holding on for dear life for 40k. I just think if we keep getting breaks below 40k, you know, that support, that resistance level's gone, and that's the end of that. So definitely looking to short Bitcoin in the next week or two. And my first target will be 35, and then I'll probably do a review at around 35k, where I think it's going next. But yeah, Mandela, it's dangerous when we agree. But I think, you know, we could see you know, 30k by the end of this year. So if you're a hodler, you know, it's not the news you really want to hear. But you know, I think with us crypto hodlers, we just have this unhealthy emotional attachment to our crypto coins, and you know, it's not good. You know, there's money on the table for sure. You know, if you've been in crypto for a long time, I think you know, for myself, I'm gonna be looking to cash in for sure.
Yeah, I do think everybody should remember to have an exit strategy, no matter what. You know, you could buy and hold if you're investing, but it's always good to have an exit strategy for the loss, exit for the profit. Worst case scenario, best case scenario, if you're long. And also, one thing for a lot of the beginners is look into shorting. Look into how to short. What is shorting? I think that's something that I was exposed to early on. Was with the competition, people were asking me, you know, how do you short? How do you make money on the downside? And it's a concept that once you wrap your head around it, it's exactly the same as going long or buying and selling. But it gives you another tool in your toolbox so if you want to be flexible.
It just brings me back, Mandela, when you first taught me how to trade, and you was telling me to sell gold or to short gold. And, you know, there was no way I could get my head around it. It was like, how can you make money by selling something? But I think one of the examples you gave me, Mandela, I think, you know, all those years ago, was ultimately flip the chart upside down. So take a screenshot of the chart. Flip it up, and then off you go. You know, if you could only see long positions, you can definitely look at doing that for sure.
Yep, I agree, and that's what it is. So I think we're kind of coming up to time a little bit, and I know we have a lot that we wanted to cover. I wanted to just quickly mention the side bet. I can throw it over to you, PJ, if you like. But the only thing I will say is it finishes on tomorrow. Finishes end of day tomorrow, I think. So I don't know if you want to take it, P, and let people know what's been going on with that. I can pull up the chart.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. So Mandela and Andrew's been going at it. We had a side bet. Was it the beginning of March?
Yes, it was beginning of March. I think it was the last Blueprint show was when we did it. Yeah.
So we had it so that we will try to figure out where the price of Tesla would be. I assumed there will probably be a gap being filled, which was hovering around the $1,000 mark. And so the side bet was, would it be higher or lower than the $1,000 price? And at the moment, how are we looking for?
So right now the price is 1,000. I don't know if you can see.
Okay, So right on that. Looking at it, you see a lot of long skinny wicks on the top, so there's a lot of selling pressure there.
It was so it's pretty much right on the 1,000. You can't get too much closer than that. If you go a little closer, you can see the earnings. When the earnings came out, let me do this. So when earnings came out, it kind of whipsawed a bit. So this was the last few days. So we gapped up above it after earnings, and then we'll come right back to it. So it's anybody's. I think it's anybody's side back. Andrew, I just wish you all the best.
I'm saying
I bet you do. Yeah.
It's possibly gonna be around 980 by the 27th. That's my
980. Okay, so that means Andrew would have won that. But yeah, it's good fun. I think it was a good pick. I don't know if this has anything to do with Twitter. but it's been fun looking at Tesla, even though I'm not physically or personally invested in it. Just having the side bet makes it a little bit more exciting for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's the side bet there. The next one that we had on the list of things to do, what was it, guys? Oh, let's do a giveaway. Let's do one more giveaway for anybody who's put hashtag SFX in the chat window. This is your last chance. We're gonna give away another Signature FX hat. I'm gonna give everybody 5 more seconds to type in hashtag SFX. We're live. We're on YouTube. Thank you for your viewership. Thank you for chilling with us, everybody. Let's give it a go. Good luck to everybody. There we go. For your Signature FX hat. And the winner is, drum roll, please, Nikki Love. Nikki Love, congratulations,
Well
Nikki
done,
Love. Very well
Well
done.
done.
Very done. Very well done, Nikki Love. I think we have some confetti here that we can drop for her.
Amazing.
Very well done. Nice job, Nikki. Nice job. And we'll get that hat to you. I think I know who that is. I think that's Nikki Clark, who lives out there in the West End. So I'll get her that hat next time I see her. Wise words of wisdom, guys. Anything that you kind of want to share with people? Anything that's kind of stuck out this week, or anything that you think anybody would value or gain any insight from?
Yeah, I think so. So if you can just share my screen again.
Yep, there we go.
Yes, my wise words would be join our Discord channel, Signature FX.
Yes,
You
yes.
like that one, yeah.
I like
And-
that. I like that.
Yeah, and as you can see, it's just pure quality content. You know, it's you won't get this from Goldman Sachs or anywhere else. You know, we've got Elon, and we've got inflation coming in higher than expected. So, guys, you know, if you want some top advice, pop over to our Discord channel at Signature FX.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, just a reminder to everybody as well. If you're not familiar with Discord, we will be doing we will be putting together a video of what the Discord is and how to navigate it a little bit better. But yeah, Andrew, you've been spending a lot of time helping to build that out, and I've noticed a lot more traffic, a lot more interaction with people, and I just think of it as a better WhatsApp.
Yeah, for sure. So it's just easier to share some setups, some trade ideas or trades I'm taking. Yeah, it's a little bit easier for me than WhatsApp. And like I say, WhatsApp's more of a, I don't know, for me anyway, it's more of a family platform anyway. So it's and with the time difference with you guys as well, you know, I have to mute quite a lot on WhatsApp. So
Keeping you up all night.
you are, guys. To be honest.
Yeah. That's our fault. PJ, any wise words you want to share with anybody?
I would just say, you know, for those who's dealing with the trading challenge, you know, just look at all sort of sectors, plan your trades. Don't just act on impulse. Don't just look at Shane's and say, oh, he bought Monero and let me buy Monero. Like, you know, get the practice of setting up your trades and stuff, and you really see improvements. You really will.
Yeah. Thank you, P. And that's a good reminder to me too, because I've been chasing a lot, and chasing isn't working right now. So I guess my wise words of wisdom is find what works best for you and try and stick with your plan, and see it through. Try not to be somebody else, you know, be yourself. That's my advice. And just talking about being yourself, I am an Arsenal supporter. PJ is an Arsenal supporter. This is not an Arsenal show,
No.
but when things happen in the world, you know, you have to give respect where respect's due. That's all I'll say.
Absolutely.
This has been a crazy show, and I just feel like Arsenal it's been like almost like a stock that hasn't been doing well.
No.
And you have to celebrate the small wins, I guess.
Yeah. Hopefully we could continue to run. But as you know, the emotions have been volatile. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have. They really have.
Can't even get too excited anymore.
Let me know when you finish.
All right, we're done. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for watching. little inside joke there. So yeah, I think that's it. Do you guys want to do an after show, or do you want to just wrap it up? I'm easy.
We can wrap it up. Jump back on. How are you guys fixed for time? Anything else you want to talk about? And is there anything really in the chat or in the comments we want to discuss?
Let's see here. So we got a shout out to Shane. I think everybody's really supportive of the competition and enjoying that. And Terry saying congrats to the winners for today's show. Great sport. I think Terry's won at least 2 items in the past, so a good sport as well. Thanks to everybody in the chat. And thanks for everybody watching. If there's anything that anybody wants us to cover, any tickers that you want us to look at before we finish up, I guess we can wait if you guys are happy to wait 2 minutes.
Yeah, sure. I'm just thinking about the competition. I am flabbergasted by the first prize. I'm just thinking now that covers my that'll cover a plane ticket to Bermuda. We could do a great live show, guys, couldn't we? Yeah.
So we need a win, P. We need a win. I think that's
Don't
a challenge.
Don't worry. We got a month.
Guys? What one of you needs to win, because it's not like we trade part time over YouTube show or anything, offer advice, So
and to be fair, I definitely felt guilty to not checking it, not setting my targets. And like the other day I had like almost like a 2 gram pop on one of my positions. And I just let this thing ride out, you know what I mean? And should have took profits and, dealing with, my children and all that type of stuff throughout the day. It just completely eroded, man. And it's things like that where I wouldn't have done that if it was, real money.
Yeah.
But it's just like...
just for myself, guys, do you think we can get the competition winner on the show? So every other month, so it could be Shane. Following month, it could be... I don't know, just read through the list. It could be Orchard Spa, it could be Terry. Do you think we could reach out, ask the guys to come on the show as a special guest on the panel, and maybe we can just discuss then a topic they'd like to bring up, something they might be following in the news, investing related.
Definitely, yeah. I can coordinate that. Maybe have one person per show or a panel of people per show.
Yeah,
I think that would be fun. I know a lot of people have been supporting us and sharing the message. So thank you to you, those of you who are sharing, all the posts and sharing the links for these videos. I wasn't able to get all the participants for the competition, but a lot of people reached out to their friends and their family. So there are quite a few people who invited 2 or 3 other people. So that was phenomenal too. And if we can continue to do that, and if Shane wants to come on the show or Orchid Spa or Nikki or anybody, just let us know. We'll be happy to have you on. Yeah. So I think that's it. Without further ado, everybody.
Yeah, guys, I'll catch up with you in the week. Okay, have a good one. Take care.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.